Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to show you all of the makeup I have used up so far in the first 6 months of the year. And this is not something that I was originally going to do, but I saw It's Just Steph do it and I thought it'd be a great idea. So on my Instagram and TikTok, I have been showing you my quarterly makeup empties. And for my year-long project pan, I update that every 2 months. And a lot of these products I am showcasing there. And then in my monthly in and out makeup rehab, I'm showing you my empties from month to month. So I did think that while these products have been featured in other videos, all together might be really helpful. And I will put on the screen if I'm incorrect, because I did a really rough count and I think I've got 45 products. I would like to finish 100 makeup products by the end of the year. So we're definitely on track to do that, which is super exciting. I'm going to try to give brief thoughts on all of these products. I want to give some information, but I don't want this video to be too long, but we'll see what happens. I finished 6 primers in the first 6 months of the year. This first one, you might not want to count it, which I totally understand. It did take me a couple weeks to get through. This is the Peace Out Instant Pore Perfector. I don't really feel like it did much. I didn't enjoy the scent, wouldn't buy it, but I really don't get makeup samples too often, so I'm glad that I use it up because I had been holding on to it. Then a deluxe size sample e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Didn't do anything for me. Would not repurchase. Then we're getting in the full size territory. Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. My sticker peeled off, which was a mess. This really grew on me. I don't think this is pore filling. I think this gives you a nice all over smoothing soft blur type of look. Would repurchase. I finished 2 half-ounce sizes of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, so altogether a whole ounce of primer. This was my favorite glowy primer because it was a gorgeous champagne shade and the formula worked really well with my oily skin. The product was not picked up by Smashbox when Becca went out of business, so unfortunately I can't get it anymore, but if I could, I would. And then I did finish a full-size pore filling primer, the Dr. Brandt Pore Refiner Primer. And I think this is the best choice. If you're looking to fill your pores, I think that this is a nice thinner consistency that works well with my other skincare products and other primers I pair with it. I would buy this again if I felt like I needed a step like this, but honestly, I think my pores are fine. If I just use like an all over smoothing primer, I think that that is doing enough. So I'm not going to repurchase, but it's a great product. I finished 2 foundations so far this year. The L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum in 0.5 to 2 Very Light. I did buy a pump off of Amazon to use with it. This packaging is gorgeous, but the dropper is terrible and doesn't really suck up product. I do think that this is a really nice tinted serum, like they say. Not the best for my oily skin type, and since trying this, I've tested out so many other skin tints that I like a little bit more, so not something I would repurchase right now, potentially in the future, but I actually just like love trying new foundations and don't end up repurchasing very many. And I did use up the Fenty Ease Drop Skin Tint in number 3. This I feel like is just a foundation. If they put the exact same formula in a different bottle and called it foundation, I think everyone would think that's what it was, because it just gives you a nice solid medium coverage. It has a natural satin finish, and I do think that this is nice and long wearing. Not the most long wearing on my oily skin, but that's fine. I think that makes this work for more skin types. I would consider repurchasing that. Use up 2 concealers, both holy grails for my under eyes, the Tarte Shape Tape and 12 in Fair Neutral, which is my perfect shade. I like a warm undertone for my foundation, but a neutral for under eye concealer. This gives full coverage satin finish, and I have really watery eyes and oily under eyes, and this is just perfect. I've tried so many other concealers. I will keep trying other things, and this is still my favorite, already repurchased. Then Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer in 1 in Light Neutral. I love this for blemishes. I've tried to get on the NARS Soft Matte Concealer train. I have it. I do think it's good, but I just like this one more. This does give full coverage. It has a satin matte finish. It really does stay in place. I have used this in a different shade for under my eyes, and I think that's great as well, but absolutely love this. Also, I'm doing a terrible job of being brief. I just noticed that I'm talking really fast, so sorry about that. Only used up 3 powders so far. First being a little mini of the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. Was not special at all, would not buy, but I will use it up if I get more minis because it was very easy. Finished 2 of my Dermablend translucent loose powders. I am just a few applications from being done with another. This is my holy grail for under eyes and face. I do get like a little bit of a white cast, but I don't mind that. This is really nice and smoothing. While it doesn't claim to be mattifying, it does help a little bit, but not so mattifying that it wouldn't work for other skin types. Just looks incredible. Definitely will continue to repurchase. For liquid and cream cheek products, I have 2. The Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer in Transcend. This is just their little mini. This was a really pretty rose gold shade. However, too dark for me, so I would not buy this shade, but I did think that this was a nice formula that blended out well, still gave some really pretty glow, so I would consider picking up a different shade. I won't be in a rush to, but I'll consider it. And then I am definitely including this little Westman Atelier trio because it had 3 products. Took me a while to get through them. I did track my uses for these 2. I did for the contour. I wish I did. So we've got the Contour Stick and Biscuit, which is a really nice neutral cool undertone. It's as cool as I can go. And I do think the formula is the same as the cream blush. It's a really nice, soft cream to powder finish. It has like a blurred matte look. Really easy to apply and work with. I did not like the highlight. This was just like a clear sticky balm. Don't recommend that, but the other products were great. Just a little pricey. And then we've got 3 setting sprays, a little mini Urban Decay All Nighter. This is my #1 holy grail, but this was a little bit older in my collection, so I wanted to knock it out. Then we've got the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I think this is great. I don't think it's very dewy though. It has no shimmer in here. I don't think it's that hydrating. It's just a good setting spray, so I like it, but I would love to know your thoughts if you have more of a dry skin type. And then we have the Benefit Professional Super Setter. This might be better for dry or normal skin because I have heard others say that this is too dry on them, but this is not. But I don't think this did anything for me, and I really don't like the mister. It was almost too fine where products landed on my clothes instead of on my face, so would not repurchase. Moving on to eyes. For brow products, I finished 5. 3 of my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I have got 3 of them in the shade 1. For Benefit brow pencils, I can do 1, 2, or 2.5. I prefer 1 because I draw my brows on so strong that I like having a lighter shade. But this is my favorite brow pencil. I like to use this to outline my brows and draw on the front because this is just skin here. And then I pair it with the Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which has that little teardrop shape, and I use this for filling in the center of my brows. And even though I've been through 3 in 6 months, I will tell you though that because I use this, it makes these last longer. And this was in 2.5. I got this one in PR from them. And then I finished the Gimme Brow Gel in shade #1. And I'm almost done with another of these. This is fantastic. I love that it has fibers in here because I do think it helps to enhance my brow hairs, which is what I want because I draw my brows on so intense. And I have a lot of brow hairs, but they're not very stubborn. They stay in place fine. So this doesn't have like insane hold, but I would rather have the color and the fibers. So all holy grails will repurchase all of them. Finish 1 eye primer, the Anastasia one. This is technically a mini, which works out well because whenever Ulta does their buy one get one free minis, I just stock up on this eye primer, which I just did. You will see it in my haul for this month. And this is fantastic because this has a little bit of color to it. It is more of an off-white shade. I would love for her to come up with other shades for people with deeper skin tones to be able to have to cancel out any veining on the lids. I've tried using concealer and it always looks heavy and feels cakey on the eyes. This doesn't. It helps my eyeshadow adhere, it doesn't crease. Holy grail. I used to want this one and the Urban Decay. I don't need that one. It's clear. And the last time I used it, it felt like a little bit oily. This is just all I need. I have finished 2 eyeshadow sticks. I wear a cream shadow on my lid every single day. I can't do my eyeshadow without it. I think it just really intensifies the lid shade. It really helps it adhere to my eye. This is an amazing formula because it doesn't crease on me and I have oily lids. And the mini I used up is in the shade Rose Gold. This is a little bit more champagne-y on me, and I actually prefer Bobbi Brown golden pink, because that one's a little bit more pink, more of a true rose gold. So I wouldn't rebuy this shade. And then the other one is Kiss from a Rose. This was from a collection. I bought the whole collection, and same formula, but this is just an icy pink, which is not a color that I tend to reach for, but both of these work perfectly as bases. With my cream shadows, I do scoop out all the product, put it in a sample jar to finish it completely. So really happy to have knocked 2 more shadow sticks out of my collection. And while I love them, I need to not really let myself buy more Laura Mercier shades because I use them as bases. And while it definitely affects the color of the shadow I put on top, I have a lot of neutral ones, so not going to repurchase. Then I did finish 2 pencil liners, which is incredibly exciting, except both of these are not available anymore, and I would buy them if I could. So this is Dose of Colors eyeliner in Teddy, which was the most gorgeous rosy brown. And then we had ColourPop Rosette, which was a rose gold copper. I loved both of these for spring. I think Teddy works with a lot of things, but these work so well with my champagne and rose gold and peachy eye looks that I love in spring. I think that both of these have a similar formula where they are a more dry pencil. I like that because I have watery eyes, oily under eyes, so these stay in place for me. I would not recommend these formulas for the upper lash line because they're gonna be too dry and break and skip and not be a pleasurable experience. And I would say that the Dose of Colors was more dry, and I had to go over the same place a couple of times to get the color to show up. I don't have that problem with the ColourPop. I had this break off once or twice, but not very much. You just twist up a little bit of this. ColourPop breaks from the base all the time. I don't mind. I just stick the pencil back in, and I'm careful when I'm using it not to fling my hand all around, just twist up what's needed. So would buy them again if I could. Next, I have 2 mascara primers and 4 mascaras. For my minis, I use them for 2 months, and full sizes for 4 months. I used up the Lancome Sills Booster, which is just a classic white mascara primer. I don't necessarily know what this does for my lashes, but I like it. I always use them up when I get them, but I wouldn't buy it. However, the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay has a plastic wand, and it is a black color. So this to me almost feels like layering another mascara. This does give some nice length, and I honestly don't know what this does that's different from layering with another mascara, but I do enjoy these. I would buy the Too Faced if it was on sale, like half off. Then I used these minis together, the Freck Lash Rocket, which is more of a dry formula. It is a plastic wand. This was great for lengthening and separating. However, this is a pretty dang dry formula, and at least on the mini, the stopper is so tight that you don't have a ton of product on here. So if the full size was like this, I would worry that it would dry out too fast, but I did really like using it, especially in combination with this very messy Rare Beauty mascara is very messy Perfect Strokes, and this is awesome at giving volume. This is a great mascara. I would definitely buy this again if I could get that half off. Then my full size combo, this is the Lancome Light 8 Hypnose. This is supposed to be like a serum mascara. I didn't like this. Did not do anything for me. It has very heavy packaging like a perfume, which is unnecessary. Hypnose Drama is my holy grail. I so far have not really liked the other Lancome mascaras. And then we've got the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara. This is fantastic. I really love this. I would definitely consider buying this again. However, I think that the e.l.f. Lash Extender is super similar, and I should buy that one over this, but I would definitely consider getting it again. It's more of a wet formula. So because of that, this does lengthen my lashes, but it does give it like a little bit of thickness if I concentrate it at the root, which is nice. Next, I got my bag of lippies because they can leak a little bit. I have finished only 1 lip balm so far, the Jack Black Night Mode lip treatment. I think this is very similar to like regular Vaseline. It is nice. Not something I would repurchase for now. I didn't notice anything crazy from it, but it's nice to have like a staple, simple product. Next, I had a couple of clear glosses that I was using as my purse balm because I just never buy clear glosses. It's not my thing. I would rather use a tinted gloss. So that's how I am panning all the ones that I have. So this is the Tower 28 Lip Jelly in Dream. It was this light champagne shade. It was limited edition. On the lips, you don't really notice the shimmer. It looks very similar to their just regular clear shade Chill. If I was going to buy a clear gloss, it would be the Tower 28 Chill because it's super shiny, very smooth, not sticky. So I would recommend if you're looking for more of a clear gloss. Then I had the Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm and Frost Yourself. This was a nice minty scent. This was a holiday shade. It was just clear with some silvery glitter in here, and I could feel the glitter, which I did not like. I really want them to do a clear mint. It hasn't happened yet. I'm just holding out because I do think this formula is fantastic. I just don't love the other scents. But if you do like those scents, I would recommend this. This is very, very smooth and hydrating. Then for color lip glosses, I finished 8. First is the Morphe Madison Beer Lip Gloss in Venus. I almost decluttered this. I'm so glad I didn't. This was like a lip gloss, lip lacquer hybrid. I love that this is like a warm mauve shade. It's super smooth on the lips, was not sticky, was a gorgeous shade. Not the most shiny thing ever, but I love this color so much that if this was available, I would buy it again, but it was limited edition, but super glad I didn't declutter it. Then I had these 2 mini Lawless lip glosses from a holiday set a couple years ago. I wore these together because the deeper shade Bitten was just too dark for me, but Blush Sand really went nicely with it to create a really nice wearable rosy shade. And if I can't remember the name, I just said it. If Blush Sand was sold individually, I would buy that one. It's a lighter shade for my preference, but it is still really pretty. It's like a light beigey pink. And then I finished one of the Jaclyn lip oils in Petal Drip. It feels really nourishing when you first put it on, but very quickly the formula starts to get sticky and wear off, which I don't enjoy, and the color is very sheer. Would not buy it again, even if I could. Finally finished the last of my Kosas wet lip oils. I finished 4 last year. The last 2 are finally done. I had Unhooked and Unbuttoned. This was the cream formula, which was very nice. Again, kind of similar to this Morphe one, where it is like a thin lip cream. These were not super glossy, but they did feel smooth. I liked these shades a lot, but I really do not like the scent of these. It smells like plastic Play-Doh, which I cannot stand, and I have so many other glosses that have a pleasant smell, so I wouldn't buy those for that reason. Then I finished the Tower 28 Milky Lip Jelly in Pistachio. This is a gorgeous shade. I really love this. This is my favorite lip gloss formula. Very smooth, very shiny. And you will need to reapply relatively often because it doesn't stay in place because it's not sticky, but I don't mind. I already had a backup of that. And lastly, I finished the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Reef. This was a gorgeous shade. This reminds me of the Fenty Gloss Balm Cream formula. And if I had fewer glosses in my collection, I would consider buying it again. I definitely would recommend this. It's a great drugstore gloss. Gives a lot of pigment. It feels, again, like a lip cream because it is very smooth on lips, not sticky, not super glossy. But I did enjoy this and I would recommend it. And in my end of the year empties, I do also show you perfumes. So I wanted to do that really quickly. I don't have that many perfumes in my collection or ones that I was working on this year. So first was this Scentbird size of Givenchy Irresistible. And I had filled this all the way up from a rollerball that I have of theirs. And I decided that I just don't really love this perfume anymore. I still have a lot more to go. I'll be able to fill this up again. I mean, it's great if you love that perfume because it comes with a ton of product, but I'm just sad that I used up so many little samples of it and I just don't like it. I think it's a little bit too mature, too baby powdery for me, which is a bummer, but I'll get through it. And then I finished the Clean Reserve Aqua Neroli. I really love this one. I've mentioned several times before. This reminds me of when Mary-Kate and Ashley had their Coast to Coast NYC and LA perfumes. I'm not sure which one it was, but this smells like a more grown-up version of that, which I love. So it's something I would consider buying again, although I don't feel like the Clean Reserve fragrances last on me for that long. And then I finished just a little sample of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. This is my holy grail perfume. I love it so much, and I did actually just repurchase the jumbo size from TJ Maxx because it was 50% off, and this is a perfume that I've used up so many of and I just love. It is such a classic for me and one that I really love spring summer. But I really am on the hunt for other spring summer perfumes, so please leave your recommendations down below. Aside from that one, I have 3 other perfumes, 4 other perfumes in my collection, and they're all fall winter scents. So Would love your recommendations. I know Perfume's been so popular right now, but I'm so picky. I just need to hear your thoughts and go in the store and give them a sniff. I'm so sorry for how quickly I just talked. I didn't want to go on forever, and I feel like I gave you some good thoughts on everything. And I would love to hear your thoughts if you tried these products. I would love to know what all you have used up so far this year. I'm really happy with how much I've been able to get through. Hopefully I will hit that 100 empties goal by the end of the year. Usually it comes in very, very close, but really happy with what I've done so far. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.